Hey, a pleasant good evening to you and yours, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network. Tonight, we kick off our fall sports series one-on-one. That's right, summer sports series over, fall here. Tonight, day one of high school fall camps. That means football, but more importantly for me, I'm excited for volleyball this year. Volleyball, swimming, diving, cross country. It's going to be a terrific fall sports season, and I'm really stoked up for volleyball. Our final summer series interview, we had Sydney Williams and Mallory Mers from the Vieira Hawks to kick off the new fall season. We do it with the Astronaut War Eagles tonight, and I am here with senior KILEY REDFERN and junior CLAIRE PAVICK. Ladies, welcome to the set of Brevard Sports Network. I'm grateful that you could come all the way down here tonight. I want to start with just kind of getting to know you two a little bit. KILEY, since you're the senior, let's start with you. Got some big news recently that maybe the rest of the community doesn't know about yet. So tell us about that, and what have you been up to all summer?
So I recently just committed to play college volleyball at Lenoir Ryan University, so that's exciting. And then over my summer, I've just been hanging out with friends, going to the beach, of course, and also training for volleyball to get better every day. So
Now, and we'll talk about this in a second. Claire, you're going to be a junior this year coming in. Awesome season last year. And as we go out throughout the course of these interviews, you're going to see their stats and highlights and all that pop up on the screen. So that's why I don't really talk about them a lot, because they're there for you to look at and watch. Claire, tell us a little bit about you and what you've been doing with your summer.
I'm CLAIRE PAVICK, and I'm a junior, and most of the summer I've just been going to the beach, going to theme parks, and hanging out with my friends.
Theme parks. Are you a theme park person? What's your favorite theme park?
Probably Aquatica.
Oh, really? Okay. So you got a favorite ride or a favorite slide at Aquatica?
The drop one.
So you're a thrill seeker.
Yes.
Okay. All right. No doubt. Well, congratulations, KILEY, on the commitment. Now, staying with the summertime theme here, you both play for the best club volleyball program in the county in Cape Coast. Tell us about your club seasons.
So with mine, I played for the 18 Atlas team, and we did good. We fought hard and everything. So it was a lot of fun, and we played in different tournaments, in Louisville, Kentucky, and Indianapolis. So that was really fun. And I also played with Jordan Patrick and all of them that are now playing at the next level. So it was really fun to play with them and learn from them through the recruiting process and everything.
How cool was it, first of all, to travel on an airplane without having to wear a mask? Even if you did wear a mask, the option was still there not to. That's cool. Secondly, what was your favorite city? Out of all, you ladies go to a lot of cities. What was your favorite city to visit? I was in Atlanta. I don't even remember where I was this year. I always like going to Atlanta. Where do you like going?
Indy was pretty fun. It was fun to walk around and eat at different restaurants and see what there was to do.
Who's your coach?
Lindsay Tipton.
Okay. And how about for you? How was your club season?
It was really good. We actually qualified in Indy.
Nice.
And we got to go back to Indy. We did really good. We finished 13th.
13th overall? Who all's on your team?
Riley, Maddie, Mallory.
Gotcha. So
Maya.
It's like an all-star team.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. What's your favorite city to visit that you visited this past summer?
Probably, I would have to say Indy, because I went there twice, and it was really a pretty city.
Second time around, you're a little bit more
Yes.
comfortable with it. Yeah, no, I get it. We are here with the Astronaut War Eagles, two of the outstanding volleyball players here in Brevard County. And Claire, I'm sure next year I'll be saying this about you, but KILEY, when we release our 2022 preseason BSN Volleyball Player of the Year, preseason nominees. KILEY, of course, will be on that list. Let's go back and talk about last season, because I thought you ladies really had a good year last year. 13-8, I think, overall. You had some stretches where you won 6-7 matches in a row. You would lose to a team and then come back and beat that team. KILEY, talk about what changed for this team last year from the start of the season to the end of it.
Definitely like their ability to work together and to play as one instead of like individuals on the court. That really grew a lot, and just our ability to grow was really big.
And Claire, as a sophomore last season, big contributor. We were talking about all the digs that you had last year. Talk about for you, was that your first season of varsity, or did you play as a freshman?
I didn't go to Astronaut my freshman year.
Okay, so was this your first season of varsity?
No.
Okay, so talk about last year for you and the learning experience, because playing varsity at a freshman or a sophomore level is always a learning experience. Talk about what that was like for you as a sophomore.
I came in as a sophomore, and everybody was really welcoming, and they really welcomed me in and made me feel like at home. And just the love and the support that they gave me from coming in was really good.
I'll tell you, that makes a big difference, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times it's hard to concentrate and focus on your game if you're wondering what they think. And
yes.
Because I've transferred schools before, and I know it can be hard to fit in. So good for you. That's awesome to hear. Well, ladies, this year I think there are expectations for this volleyball program. You've got how exactly do I put this? You've got a new returning coach who was with the program a couple years ago, not long ago, in Diego Perez. When you think of Diego, you think of Brevard County volleyball. He is, I don't honestly know of anybody that knows more about all of Brevard County volleyball than Diego does. Always great to have him on the broadcast. And he's coming up next, by the way, in the interview process. But talk about the excitement level of what those goals and expectations are coming into this season. Go ahead, KILEY.
So our biggest goal of this season is to win districts, of course. And we think we have a pretty good shot of winning districts. And then, yeah, that's...
How about you as a junior now? Coming back after last year, even as a junior, you're here being interviewed. So you got a leadership role. Talk about that, what that means.
Well, I'm really excited about Diego coming back. I think it's a really good deal for our program. He's really going to push us to be the hardest we can, and I have a really good feeling about this season and to hopefully win a district title.
I like to hear that. Now, you lost some players, obviously, last year. Can you tell me about some of the players you know will be back this year and that are going to help this team contribute?
Yes, so one of our setters, Kimmy Tang, she's back this year, and we're excited about that because she can put up a pretty good ball that we can swing on for our offense. She can run a good offense, so we're excited about that. And then also Eliana Barnett is back, one of our DS's libero.
Okay.
Super excited. She's really good. Hustles a lot, puts in a lot of work and effort, so we're excited about that. Outstanding.
Now, I got to ask, tell me about, you mentioned the setter. Getting to know Jordan a little bit last year like I did, I came away, not just Jordan, but a couple other setters in the county. I came away with the impression that setters get no love, right? I mean, that's what I'm told anyway, right? Tell me about the positions. Now, for the novice volleyball, and you ladies are the first interviews we're doing for the fall sports teams. In fact, you are the very first of any sport that we've interviewed. Tell me about some of the positions, setter, and their importance on the floor. What position do you play, Claire?
I play outside.
Tell me about the outside hitter position and the impact one as good as yourself can make on the game.
Well, it all first starts with the pass, and the set is really important, and I do feel like they don't get enough recognition.
Gotcha.
But because they really do a really good job at putting the ball up for us, and I think without them, it would just not be good for, personally, me as a hitter.
One of the things I've noticed since I've been really trying to learn the game and look is when I go to these tournaments and I look at setters and I look at some of the ones that are passing the ball and I look at the reactions of the girls when they overset them or underset them or hit it behind them, and I look at the reactions on the girls' faces and the frustration level is just through the roof. So I can imagine that it's very important. Kylie, tell us a little bit about your position and the importance of it on the floor.
So I'm a right side hitter, and what Claire said, it come from the pass, the set, all the way to me where you attack and hit. So
is there anything, what's the best, is there, and I got to ask this question because I've never asked this question before to a volleyball. Is there anything more satisfying than coming 6, 8, 10, 12 inches off the floor, swinging that arm, and absolutely crushing one right down the middle? Talk about that.
It's great. It's absolutely phenomenal. No better feeling.
I hear you. What are, and I know the district championship is a goal and an expectation. What should we know about this team that maybe we don't know? About the girls on this team. Tell me a little bit about the camaraderie, or have you not had an opportunity to have that happen yet?
I think we all really do good of working together and helping each other when one's struggling a little bit. We always seem to come together, like no matter if we're doing good or bad, we're always just support each other and just never give up.
Okay. Let's find out a little bit about you, and then we're going to go back to your team because we're going to find out who does what and when. So those will be the fun questions, okay? So volleyball, do you play any other sports? Because volleyball, to me, is really a year-round thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. But how do you prepare yourselves off the court? Tell me about some of the things you do to train to be better on it.
So with me, I definitely, you have to eat like healthy. You can't be eating like McDonald's every day or like
or
something.
pizza.
Yeah, but yeah, you have to eat good. A good healthy diet is good for one. And then when you're training in general, just put 110% and have no regrets on the court, and then it will make yourself a better volleyball player.
What's the most important part? Is it your legs? Is it your arms? Is it your shoulder? What would you consider when you work on yourself to become a better volleyball? What do you work on the most?
I think it's all mental. For
Really?
Me. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just get out of your head. And
how do you slump in volleyball? Tell me how you slump in volleyball. I'm curious about that. Is it that you get in if you're serving or tell me how you slump. How does one get into a slump and you got to get out of your head? Give me an example of when you were in your head.
Oh, okay. So at AAU's this past year, I struggled really, really bad. I went mental from the first point of the whole 4 days.
Right.
And I kind of just
lost it from there, right?
Well, I tried to just think about, like, it's okay, like, shake it off, you got the next one. And sometimes you really can't get out of your head.
Right.
So for me personally, that experience was really bad, and I tried my best to just think about, like, it's okay, like, the next ball, you got it, but...
How did you get out of it? Because obviously you did.
I kind of just... It was probably day 3 to 4. Mm-hmm. I kind of just realized that, like, I was in my head a lot, and that I just need to go out there and be confident and just push through it.
Work yourself out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep working out of it. That's great. And that makes sense because the physical part of the game seems to come natural to all of you girls. You are outstanding athletes. I mean, you know how to run, jump, hit, right? I mean, but yeah, the mental part of it, I can certainly see that because yes, volleyball is a team sport, but ultimately and in the end, you have your individual positions that you're accountable for. So I totally get it. All right. So Kylie, what do you do for fun? What is a KILEY REDFERN evening when there's no volleyball on a ticket? How do you relax?
Definitely to go out and hang out with friends, like go to dinner with them or like the mall and shop. Oh, I love shopping. Or just anything with friends.
Have you engaged in the whole online shopping experiences yet?
I don't really online shop.
Oh, good.
I like
don't
to try it on in person.
I got you. What's your favorite store to shop? Or
Probably,
two?
probably American Eagle.
I like
Yeah.
it. Okay. All right. Outstanding. And Claire, what do you do for fun?
Kind of the same thing as Kylie. I really like when I don't have volleyball, which is not a lot.
Right.
I try to just hang out with my family and my friends and really go to the beach and just hang out with my friends.
Now, you both say go to the beach. Do you do any of those? Does anybody surf or no? Okay, good. So, yeah, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. And I'm not saying I love surfing. I'm just saying they're volleyball players. You know, they can hurt their arms or something like that. Okay, so I guess what I want to know is like, I want to get to know you a little bit more. So if I picked up your phone right now and I went to your music and there was a thing, or if you don't, what would it tell me was the most listened to song that what's the song you've listened to the most over the last month?
Probably Human by Cody Johnson.
Okay. How about you, Kylie? Are you not a music person?
I don't know. It's my sister's job. My sister does all that.
Oh, she took
Yeah.
Okay.
My sister has all the playlists.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what is your favorite type of music? Do you have a favorite type of music?
I like country.
I got you. You got a
Yeah.
favorite country artist? Or are you like me? I don't know who they are.
Well,
I just
Morgan
like.
Wallen's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You have a favorite artist? Favorite?
Probably Cody Johnson.
Okay. There you go. That's why you're listening to the song. Duh, Alan. Duh. All right. Back to your team. All right. Let's find out a little bit about them. Hopefully they're watching. Okay. Who on the team is the player that if coach is talking up front and the girls are whispering over here on the side, who's the player that goes, ladies, coach is talking? Who is the mom of the team? And look, if you don't know who that is, you're probably sitting in the room.
I would definitely probably say Redfern.
I could tell by the look on her face that it would be her. And no, Kylie, I could see that. How about this one? Who is the one that takes the longest to get ready to go on the court? Who I mean, just takes forever to get ready. You don't know? That's all right if you don't. Is it you?
No.
Okay. Tell me one thing you've learned about Coach up until this point that nobody else knows. And that's a hard one because he's a very popular guy in this community. What have you learned about him?
That he does not mess around.
Yeah. Yeah.
He does not mess around. Well, you know what,
Not
lady?
playing.
Same thing?
Yeah.
Ladies, I think you're a very talented team. And I think that Coach has certainly picked the right team at the right time to come back and coach the Astronaut War Eagles. I think it's a match made in volleyball, Brevard County heaven here. Final thoughts, ladies. The upcoming season, I'll let you close with your excitement and just talk a little bit about what you're – well, let me ask you this before we go. As a senior, what are you looking forward to the most this year? Like what, not on the floor, but like of all the activities you now get to do because you're a senior, what are you looking forward to the most?
Definitely just getting back to the routine, seeing everyone, doing all the senior festivities, and just to have fun,
To go back and see the friends and be ready?
Just have fun.
Do people, and I have a daughter who's older, and I know 10 years ago, she is still school shopping for clothes a big thing? Is that still?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, I
Yeah.
just double checking. I just don't know. Well, ladies, we'll see you a lot this year. Good luck.
Thank you.
On the upcoming season. I'm excited for your upcoming season. I'm excited for the both of you. You're both outstanding volleyball players, and I enjoy watching you both play a lot. So want to thank KILEY REDFERN and CLAIRE PAVICK here. We'll be back in a minute with their coach, Diego Perez. As promised, back here on the set, the beautiful downtown Melbourne studios. And if you know why I'm been here, you know why I'm laughing. Welcome back here to the Brevard Sports Network. I am here with the new head coach of the Astronaut War Eagles volleyball team. I love this guy. I just do. I love working with him. I love broadcast. All of it when it comes to. He's taught. You know what? He probably doesn't know this. Yes, he does. He has taught me a ton about this game. In this area, and so welcome here to the studios for the first time, Diego Perez. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How you doing? Thanks.
Man, you've been coaching. First of all, for those that don't know you, and I can't imagine that there are many,
Probably not.
Take us through your volleyball career.
So I was a big fan of volleyball when I was in high school. So I went to Marathon Christian for a couple years, and we were a Final Four team when I was there. So, we went to every game. We had cheers for the kids. And then when I transferred to Rockledge, I became friends with all the volleyball players because that's the sport that I enjoyed watching. So my senior year, Darren Bolton was actually the head coach.
That was the big year, right?
Yeah, we were really good.
Yeah.
We were Cape Coast Conference champions. I think we went like 28-2 that year. I mean, it was really good, but I was the manager because it was a really good way for me to stay involved. After I graduated, I had no intention of anything happening, and then I ran into Darren shortly before the next year's tryouts, and he asked if I was interested in kind of coming back and just helping out, and so I did, and 12 years later, here we are again.
Your first stint, a successful one at Astronaut. Talk about that, and what led you back there?
So, yeah, I mean, the first time around, it was great. I had some really good teams, some really fun teams. We made it to the playoffs 4 out of the 5 years. Couldn't get past Holy Trinity, and when they were pretty strong as well. And but it was good. I mean, the atmosphere at Astronaut, the people I work with, the administrators, the teachers, the students, everything there was really good. It was a really tough decision to leave, and I'd left on really good terms, which then now 3 years later when the position opened up again, it left the door open for me to reach out, and everybody was, there was no bad blood there. Yeah. So
Cheryl Schivel was fantastic, and Coach Horvath did a great job there last year as well. So, yeah, I mean, it just seems like when I saw it, when we talked about it, it just felt like just a natural thing. You spent a year over coaching college volleyball. What was that like?
It was good. I was at Eastern Florida State. That's why I left Astronaut. It was an opportunity that came up that I didn't want to regret not taking. It was good. It's definitely different because it's a different level of accountability. You're pretty much paying the athletes to play there,
right?
So you can hold them accountable to a different level than high school because they're amateurs. But it was a lot of fun. Then when COVID came, it kind of made things complicated. So I took the next year off and then
did some broadcasting.
Yeah, did a couple games with you. Yeah.
I'm always impressed with your knowledge of, and I think you're the perfect person to ask this question to. When I look at Cape Coast volleyball, and I go down the list here, obviously 90% of these coaches, 95% of these coaches are on staff here in Brevard County, and the rest of them somewhere else in East Central Florida. Volleyball is such a tight-knit community. It really, really is. Talk about that.
It's a huge community, but small community at the same time.
Right.
I mean, it's the most played youth sport in the country.
Really?
It overtook softball and soccer a couple years ago. I mean, you go to these tournaments, like you've been to Atlanta. I mean, there's qualifiers, there's huge tournaments in 10, 15 cities in the country. I mean, it's huge. And you go to Indianapolis, and the girls always joke with me because they're like, everybody. We walk around the convention center in Indianapolis,
right? And
people know, we know each other. I'm like, it is a huge community, but it's also very small.
Right.
And, partially because of the fact that I work with a lot of different programs through the Florida region. I mean, you get to know a bunch of people that way as well. It's not just coaching here in Brevard.
Right. We're here with Diego Perez. And, Diego, I always learn from you volleyball, and I appreciate it. I've learned a lot from you. Let's talk about your team. I know today is just day one, but I just spoke to two of the better players in Brevard County, in KILEY and Claire, and talk about what excites you about the potential for this team this year.
I think this team is going to be pretty good. I think last year they had a pretty good end of the season. They made the playoffs, and you lose a couple kids like Dana and Olivia. I mean, it's going to make an impact, but the kids that are left are stepping up. There's some young kids that are going to step into some roles. There's some kids that have been there. It's it's cool because I've been gone for 3 years. There's nobody there that was there when I was there.
That's wild.
So it's a whole Kylie and her class of seniors were incoming freshmen. My first year gone.
Okay.
So it's cool to not really know anybody, but like you said, I mean, I pretty much know
everybody,
all the players are in the county. I mean, I might not know them personally, but I at least know who they are.
Right.
No. But yeah, it's gonna be. I think I'm excited. I'm excited to go back, bring some excitement, some traditions that we used to do back, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
You do a lot of coaching, club, beach, all of it. What's your favorite trips? Where do you like to go? Because you go out of town a lot.
Yeah, I traveled to St. Louis, Indianapolis, Chicago, Tulsa, all this year. So Indianapolis is my favorite downtown. I think it's just everything's really close.
Girl said that too.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think partially because it's the best tournament in my career was there.
Yeah.
Back when we had Lexi Denneberg and Shay Henson, Laura Bose, we came in third place at nationals in Indianapolis. So that part of it kind of helps. But I mean, I like the fact that I get to go see a bunch of different cities that I wouldn't be getting to see if I wasn't doing this.
I'm grateful to Michelle for the very same reason. Traveling to see a bunch of cities that otherwise I would never get to go to, and it blows my mind how big. People don't really grasp. No. They don't grasp how big.
If you've never been to them, you have no idea. I mean, there's 150 courts, and each court has 4 teams all at the same time.
I'd be willing to bet that Atlanta Convention Center, which is huge and not even the biggest, has all of their courts taken up, and I mean, they could put more teams in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, they only use like 2 of the concourses.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, these tournaments are huge.
It's again, what would you say to the parent out there? Because look, I mean, club volleyball can be expensive. Any club sport can. I shouldn't just single out club volleyball. But what would you say to the parent out there whose student athlete's on the fence and wants to be a volleyball player, but that parent's either going to spend that money to say club? Why should they spend a couple extra dollars and make it volleyball if that's what their child wants to do?
I think, and I'm a big sports guy, period. I mean, I watch and enjoy watching softball and volleyball. I mean, I do. I enjoy it all, but I think volleyball is the most team sport.
I agree.
There is, because you can't go without being involved if you're on the court. Like, it involves everybody at all. Whether you're on the court or on the bench. I mean, there's an involvement by every single player. Where sports like softball or baseball, there might be 3 innings where you didn't touch the ball once.
Offensive line and play. They can take plays off.
I mean, it's a very team sport, and it builds certain character traits that are really essential in life, period. So, I mean,
that's a great point, because your defensive tackle can take a play off. Your right fielder can take 3 innings off, as you said. Your midfielder in lacrosse or soccer can take 3 minutes. But if your libero or your outside hitter or your setter takes any seconds off, you're done.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're losing the point. And that's a great point. That's well said. Here with Diego Perez, the new head volleyball coach. He returns to Astronaut High School this year to lead the War Eagles. Overall, you see as much volleyball in this county. I really felt like last year was a terrific year for high school volleyball. How do you see it this year?
I think I agree. I think Merritt Island went to the state championship. Vieira was in the Final Four. Satellite, Astronaut, Merritt Island Christian, Holy Trinity.
Right.
There was a bunch of playoff teams in Brevard County. I think we lost a really good senior class,
Yeah.
but I think that it's going to be very similar to what it's been, the last 2 years.
I agree, because I think a lot of underclassmen were a big reason why a lot of those teams excelled last
I
year.
agree.
What was it like? What did you take out of your experience at Vieira last year in reaching that Final Four with one of the best coaches in the county, in Sarah Wayne?
I've been friends with Sarah for 10 years. We've coached together at Cape Coast. We've bounced ideas off of each other for years. We came to the agreement last year that, I needed somewhere to coach. And so, it was great. I mean, the team is obviously a very talented team. And I knew all the kids from just being around in clubs, so it was a smooth transition.
Right.
She's a really high energy, very, get involved emotionally with the game type coach. And I think that's what makes her teams really successful all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you watch her on the sideline, she's on the ground, she's
Banging on.
I mean, she gets 100% in it, and that's what her teams really build off of her energy. And, I had so many people telling me last year, like, man, like, how did she get you to go with her? I mean, that's too, like, it's hard when you're a head coach to be an assistant. And, I think having two, and, when we had Eric and we had Lana and we had Ash, I mean, we had so many volleyball minds there that were able to bounce ideas off each other. And, we made a school history.
Paid tremendous dividends. Paid tremendous dividends last year. I mean, what a season you all had last year. And I think there'll be big things there this year as well. It should, again, it should be another very, very competitive year. I'm interested to see how Coach Bolton does, losing 6 incredible seniors over at Satellite. But if you know Coach Bolton, he
has 6, 7, 8.
Yeah,
10
he's always going to
seniors
rebound.
every year.
Yeah.
So there's, for some reason, Satellite just always seems to have a big senior class. So he always finds a way to get to the playoffs. And when the new districts came out and we saw they're no longer in our district, you do kind of get a little bit of relief. Like, hey, Darren, I've worked with Darren's a big reason why I coach, because he gave me that opportunity. So I know that, what he's capable of, and every year he finds a way.
How happy were you when you saw those courts open up those sand courts open up over there? That's amazing.
I think for those of you who have no idea, Darren puts more work into Brevard County beach volleyball than anyone can ever imagine.
Yeah.
And for years and years and years, he tried to get that beach volleyball in high schools. So a couple years ago, you get step one where, Merritt Island and Satellite had teams. And then the next year now, Titusville and Merritt Island Christian. And you get this past year, Merritt Island and Merritt Island Christian were both in state championship games in beach volleyball. And then to now have 6 courts at his school, and for the school to name them Bolton's Beach.
Right.
I mean, it's
incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable.
He does a great job, and I'm always love talking to Coach Bolton about beach volleyball, and I was blessed to be able to write his Hall of Fame induction too into the Space Coast Sports Hall of Fame. So that was sweet too. Diego, as we get set to wrap up here. This year, what do you like as you head into camp right now? Today was your first day. And I know it's a little rough, in terms of what you're going through to get it going. But what do you like about your team right now?
I think we got a group of kids that just want to be successful. Mm-hmm. And that's half the battle. I mean, I've had teams that have been really talented that underachieve because they don't have that drive. And then teams that maybe aren't as talented as others, but the mindset is in the right place and you're successful. I think this is a team where you're mixing both. We have a lot of talented kids, but everybody really wants to do well.
No doubt. I'm ecstatic for you coming up. The schedule, at least the way Max Preps doesn't, you could put the schedule in 100 times. Doesn't mean it's always going to be right. But the way the schedule looks now in Max Preps, you kick it off 22nd. You didn't waste any time going after it, did
The
you?
first day that we're allowed to have a game, we're playing Holy Trinity.
Yeah, I see that.
And then
right?
the next day, Bayside, and then Thursday, Satellite. So we have
and then you got Edgewood too.
in the first 2 weeks, we have 6 of the top 10 teams in the county. So
Look.
I mean,
You went right after it.
I'd like to say it was me, but no. I mean,
Yeah, okay.
I got hired late enough that the schedule kind of gets put. But I have added a couple of really tough matches. We just scheduled one today with Trinity Catholic up in Ocala.
Okay.
I mean, they're a state powerhouse. So
Right.
I want to get, I want these kids to see what it's like to play the state powerhouse teams. And, and Jeff Revis up there is, he's probably one of the best high school coaches in the state. So
To be the best, you got to beat the best.
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we're starting out with some challenging matches, but, that's what you want. You don't want to go in and play a weaker schedule. You want the strongest schedule you can get.
Well, I'm excited for the upcoming season for Astronaut Volleyball. It's why I asked Diego to come in here today with a couple of his players, and we just couldn't be more pumped about our extended coverage coming up this year here on Brevard Sports Network. We're gonna with our expanded crew, we're really gonna try to go north and south in the county. Everybody deserves to be broadcast. And with these NFHS network cameras, let me just say this. Yes, I know it's not always a great picture, but for $10.99 a month, get the subscription to the NFHS network, because a portion of those proceeds go back to the schools, and you have an opportunity to watch some of the best volleyball in the state, in my opinion. Diego, thank you so much for taking time to come down here tonight.
If you got time, you got to make it to a Astronaut Titusville game.
That's what I'm going to do. That's the one. That's
the ones. I
schedule.
mean, you talk about a community. The whole city of Titusville will be there.
How real quick? How are your Gators going to do this year?
I
had them at 6-4 last week.
I'd like to say we're going to be better than 6-4, but I don't know. I so far what I've seen from Napier, I really like. I mean, the excitement he's bringing in, but I mean, I'm a realist, and he hasn't won a Power 5 game ever.
Right.
So you're playing in the SEC. I mean, he did some
Kansas anymore,
he did some great things in other places, but I'm backing him 100% for now, and until we see otherwise. But I'll be at a couple games, so I'm excited. It should be some excitement back in Gainesville.
Well, it might be night one here. We pre-record these, but you're watching this on a Thursday night, so everybody have a great rest of your Thursday night here on the Brevards or wherever you are. And we want to thank Diego and Kylie and Claire for coming in studios here today. And, of course, I want to thank Caleb for producing. So for Caleb Brown, for Claire Pavick, for KILEY REDFERN, for Diego Perez, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network. Have a great night, everybody, and make it a sports night.